Alright, welcome to Mars. It's looking more beautiful than ever now. But time is of the essence. There's a whole lot of ticking clocks, so I'm going to ditch my duct tape. We don't need that for a little while, and going to get down all the crates from the lander. Starting with this one. Now next we want to get our construction supplies and get some frames. Alright, so they give us 45 frames to start with, which is a lot. We can have several platforms with this, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Do a platform of 3x3 and have walkways connecting them. Gonna be making some mistakes. I couldn't possibly talk and record at the same time and get everything perfect. Now we just need to weld them up. Now on this side we'll start with the habs, so these are going to be fully welded. And everything else gets a single weld. And I'm just going to get through this as quick as possible because we need to get everything done before dark. Alright, now that that's done, we want to get our container mounts. They're going to be in a box in the construction supplies. These will allow us to mount the crates onto the platform. And then over here in our hydroponic supplies, we've got the container mounts for the oxygen and water tank. So let's start with these. The arrows will tell you which way the crate's going to open. So you want these two arrows, if you can see them, facing you. You place it, and then the crate will open towards you. Like this here, they're not facing me, so I gotta rotate it, and now the crates will open towards me. And then we're gonna put the water in here. I guess we'll put it by the wall, and the oxygen. Actually give it a little room, so in case we need to hook some stuff up there. Let's get the crates. A little tip, if you walk backwards with these, they're a little bit easier to work with. They can be kind of unwieldy. Alright, and finally the water and the O2 tank. These are a little easier to walk forward with, but they can spin a bit, and sometimes when you get to the mount they can be kind of a pain to try and get onto it. So let's hope we get some good luck and get this down quick. It's close to it. There we go. Come on. Time is really of the essence. I want to get this done before dark, and we can get the hab up before morning and get our first drink of water and food going, and get our first plants planted. Oh, that was way off. It was bouncing still. Alright, gonna have to use the almighty jetpack. I'm trying not to use it so I can be conservative, but sometimes it helps. Alright, now that we got that done, all our supplies, now let's get the walls up. The walls are going to go around the perimeter of our 2x3, and I want them on the outside so we get just a wee bit of extra space. Now to get the roof, place it on the ground and lift up, and it'll be on the outside there. Alright, and then finally we need to give them iron skinning. Let's turn the light on so we can see. Got dark on us. 5, 6, and the perimeters. And finally we give them glass. Just gonna go around and a dummy check, make sure that they're all sealed. Alright. Now we can go back and get our plastic. We're going to need that for the doors. And I want to put the other walls in here as well because we won't need those for a little while. Now we're going to need one of these. So I'll put the other one back in there for now though. And one of those. And we're going to need our console, an active vent, some pipes, sensor, data disk, and the airlock. So I'm going to put it on the inside here so that our tubes are going to go through the middle of the facility. Let's put that vent down here like this. And you see what I mean when I get these going. That way the outsides don't have a pipe run and things can come in or out through the roof or perimeters or anything like that. I'm making this very long because the volume of the tank network can increase or decrease the efficiency of it. So that's where our vent will go. And then we'll put our sensor right up here. And we'll put an APC over on this side. Now to start with, we're just going to be using this. But eventually we'll hook it into the main system, and this will just sort of be a pass-through and an emergency in case we get stuck in there and power that is outside can't be utilized. So let's get that going, and I want to get this open so I can get the battery out of my inventory. Next, we want to get the doors. I also want to get this out of my inventory because I won't need it. Passive vent labeler. And the doors. We need the labeler so that we can tell our airlock which door is which and logically know which one is inside and which one is outside. Let's get that passive vent placed. It's going to go right here, the end of our very long pipe. Alright, let's get the labeler and call this the in door. I'm just going to literally call it glass door in, this one glass door out. Now we need to do our doors up. I'm going to get the cables done first. Might make it just a little easier. Okay. Next, let's grab that water container. Grow light, won't need that. Definitely gonna need potato seeds, water container, hydro pots, and I'm not gonna need that pipe utility just yet. I'm gonna need the portable scrubber because this is Mars, and definitely need that. Let's get some of this stuff on the shelf before we do anything else. So where's my other locker? Yeah, let's get those lockers done. That be the one I've got in my hand here? Yep, that's that one. Okay, let's get some lockers down. One out here. These shelves are nice. This one here, the medium shelf, you can fit a certain amount on there, and then you can have 2 shelves with your starter gear. Just throw it right inside the door, and now we can put some of this stuff on the shelf for when we need it. Probably not going to need the label for a while so it can live in here. Alright, now is there anything else we're going to need for the first time in there? Yep, get our food in there. Air conditioner, yeah, we definitely want the portable air conditioner in there. We don't need any of that stuff. It would be nice to have flares in there, just in case it's needed, but we are going to have this portable air conditioner, so that'll help heat or cool. And lastly, we want to get the food and water and the other stuff I left in the pod out, and then we'll have fully unpacked everything. Don't want to forget these valuable supplies. That should be good for now. Finally, let's slap down the electrical so that it's ready for morning. Don't need the portable and don't need anything else. Alright, let's get that going. Make sure the arrows are facing the right way. And let's swap this for our low one and put our low one in there. And we need glass. Alright, now our power production is set up for morning. We can go ahead and get the emergency going though. I'm going to use the solid fuel generator as our emergency power. And bring it up in a different way over here, this way. That way we're managing space a bit. So where does power go out? That way. Alright, and we'll run it over to our machine area. Not bad. I think this might be a good place for the battery charger. I do like putting it after something like this, so time to get our room finished so that we can get our first plants done before the sun had hit them. First we need plastic, and then we need glass and a crowbar. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we're going to need glass for this too. Alright, let's get her started for the first time. Bring up power. And we want to set the exterior door first. Then we can set the... Ooh, how did I do that? It's possible I didn't hit confirm. Alright, interior, vent, sensor, done. So, now we want to top up our tank for the first time, and it'll be a long time before this thing is going to be that high to be able to refill it that much. And we're also going to release our waste tank. So open that up and vent it to the room. Now it's time to unwrench the tank and allow it to fill this room. I'm going to put it up to 90. Now we'll use this time wisely and get the plants down. Alright, now let's plant our first plants. I'm just going to start with 2, just in case something stupid happens. It says they are thriving towards fruiting. That's great. And let's get the water bottle down. There we go. And we can open up our suit, and actually I'm going to take it off for the first time. Before I do that, I'm going to set all my stuff the way I like it. I didn't want to waste the time on this earlier. I like to have this stuff in a certain way. It'll remember this between games once you've saved, so that's a good thing to do right now too. Now let's take this funky suit off. Don't need to be wearing it while we're in here, and really do get some good bonuses from getting out of the suit every now and then. portable air conditioner, portable scrubber. Definitely need to get the portable scrubber out. Right, let's get that sucker set up. And let's get it going. And that'll pull the X that was in here, the latent X. Turn that off and wrench it back down. Alright, this is our starter hab. We got our plants growing, we got a place to eat and drink. Speaking of which, be a good idea to have one of those cereal bars. Where are they? There we go. Yeah. First day on Mars, first meal. This is the start of some really good things. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put up the air conditioner. It takes up a bit of space, but might need it. Coolant tank goes in the side over here. There we go. It's getting cramped in here already. Alright, somewhere over here if I can get it to twist that way. There we go. Good enough. I'm not going to be a perfectionist on that. You can kind of bump things sometimes. Get them into where you want them. And this is certainly, there's no X in here anymore, I'm sure. Okay, let's not waste the day. I like the workbench style. Nothing more we can do in here for a while, so let's just let the plants grow. They're still thriving and doing just fine. And we got everything we need in here. And we can just go ahead and close our helmet and get going back outside. Okay, so first thing we need to do now is get ready for mining. Before it gets dark, I want to set out a row of flags leading to some outcroppings that we can get to. So I'm going to start here and lead right off to this. I want to be able to see one flag from the other flag, so it's important that they stay kind of close to each other. There we go. Now, with any luck, we should be able to find our way back from this mining area. Since the sun is about to set, we'll just let it set and make sure this is true. Yep, and see each flag from the last, leading us back to the base. Now, we need to get ourselves prepared for mining. We've got our mining belt with the electric mining drill, but I don't really want to mess with power right now. We're actually going to start charging our first battery now, pass through battery power for that. Now what we want to do, get rid of this stuff we don't need for now. And let's get the other mining backpack, or mining belt. Now this comes with some very helpful stuff for mining. I'm not going to use the charges yet, but the rest is going to be very helpful. So this will make our mining belt. This flare gun is very helpful, so let's get it loaded up. Now we're set for our first night of mining, and let's do it. Helpful to drop down a save, so let's do that. Now this mining drill operates off of gas, which is why I'm going to use it first. And it comes with a pre-filled gas container, so we don't need to worry about using batteries at this time. And here's our first outcropping of iron. Now, what's on the surface is nothing compared to what's underneath usually, so we're going to go down first. And hopefully not make as big a hole as we otherwise would on the surface by doing underground mining. Now, if you don't see any shiny spots where ores are, then the hole is played out. I'm going to move on to the next one. So here's a coal outcropping. This will be great. And again, I'm going to dig straight down first. Leaving a surface item on the top tells you what is down that hole. Alright, let's head back on up. Let's find the exit. Now this is what you use your jetpack for. Hey, and it's dawn. Alright. Didn't even have to use the flare gun. Alright, so the first step is to get our arc furnace up. That's going to smelt our first bit of ore, and after that we won't need to use electricity for it. We can use a smelter. First thing we're going to do is start printing our electronics printer, but we can't do that until we get ourselves some materials. Let's get it going. When I get to the gold, I'm going to do that in little bits, 2 at a time. Now there's some method to that. In the beginning you can't really tell your things how much you want them to print. You're just going to print as many, and if you don't come back and stop it, it's going to keep kicking them out. And I'm going to be doing other things while these are doing the long prints. As soon as this is done, we'll be ready to go. Alright, let's do our first ever building montage. Here we go. Furnace isn't that hard, you just need to know what you're doing and have the right tools. What we're going to do here is put down an active vent for its input and send a pipe up for its output. Okay, so since we got our furnace up, it's time to make our first alloy. We're going to make Constantan. Now, this is quite important for making medium filters and some other goodies. We're going to need it for the printer upgrades as well, so we're going to get that started here. Now, this requires a high temperature and a high pressure, so we needed to have all this sort of set up so that we can pressurize the furnace as needed, but we don't really need to use that because we've got some ice and it needs a high temperature anyway, so I'm going to start off by giving it a whole lot. And do an 8:4 ratio, which should give us a decent amount of pressure and temperature. We need to be over 20 megapascals and over 1,000 on the temp in order to make this alloy. There we go. Now we can pull the lever and get our Constantan. Okay, since the sun's rising, let's head on in and check out the greenhouse and see how things are going in the hab. It looks like our potatoes are almost seeded. That means we'll be able to harvest some seeds and plant the rest of the rows soon and eat our first potatoes on Mars. Well, it's day 4 now, and it's been a great first couple days. We've got our first printers up, our very first furnace. We don't need to use electricity to make any ingots anymore. And we've got our temporary habitation set up here with a scrubber and an air conditioner and our water and O2 and our cooking supplies and a place to put stuff. All in all, it's been a great first couple days. And I hope you'll join me for the next episode when we complete the printer's array over there and get some chutes going so they can all output to a nice neat stacker in the center. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.